Welcome back to Lucore Automotive Services. Today I'm diagnosing a running problem. It was towed in as a no start. Looked it over, verified it had spark. I was thinking it didn't have fuel. I gave just a touch of ether to see if it would fire, and it actually fired up and ran, backfired like crazy. And ended up, when I look at it, I've got two outer tubes on one bank and two inner tubes on the opposing bank with a split plane intake manifold. That's what you'll see when you're not fueling on one half of your fuel system. So this has a Holley Sniper EFI. It looks to have it's either going to be the control module's bad and it's not powering the right bank or the passenger side bank. Could be bad injector. It's probably not two bad injectors, so it's probably the CPU or a wiring problem internal to the unit. So I'm going to get a call into Sniper and ask them how they want me to diagnose that. And then we'll go from there. Luckily for me, these units are right down the street. We could just get a whole new one. Ow! Watch out for that. That one almost escaped. It's an escape artist. Got an exhaust leak. That'll make him run fat. Fuel injection does not like exhaust leaks. This side's sealed up. This entire bank is leaking. And it has the O2 sensor over here, so that's why we're running fat. I cannot express the importance enough on exhaust leaks and fuel injection systems. This car, the plug I pulled that's completely fouled was on the cold tube, so it wasn't even getting fuel, and it's carbon fouled black. So this car had to be running horribly long before it dumped the fuel injectors. But if you look on this driver's side header, we have exhaust leaks all the way down it, and that will cause a lean reading, which makes the computer overfuel. You can see the bolts loose. You can see exhaust gases are escaping there. And actually back here, oh, gravity, dang it. I need that back. Where'd you go? There you are. You can see by that spark plug's getting cooked. At least I think you can see that spark plug's getting cooked. That guy right there. So that's exhaust gas is leaking. And if you look, I don't know if you can see him, but right down there, that guy right there, 02 sensor. So he's reading a lean condition because of these exhaust gases leaving the exhaust, and that's causing the computer to overfuel, which causes black fouled spark plugs. It also can never learn properly if it has an exhaust leak. Exhaust leaks are the most important thing you need to be careful with when you're putting a fuel injection system in one of these vehicles. So right now I'm on hold with Holley. I'm going to talk to them about what I have. I have no fuel going into my passenger side 2 holes. We'll get to that as soon as we move forward. Alright, 2 plug wires are fixed. I've switched out my head unit for my Sniper. Hook up my throttle cable and throttle return spring. So we got BluePrint engines, small block Ford. Don't know the specs on it. I'm going to try and find the tag on it and call BluePrint and see if they've got history on it so I know what to dial in for the programming on the Sniper EFI. I have a new Sniper EFI. I called Holley Tech line and it's a 5 to 8 week turnaround time. So we decided to just put a new unit on it and not worry about it. This one served this truck very well for 3 years. Then it started acting up, and I think it might be because I found a vacuum port on the back of the intake that didn't have a vacuum cap on it. So I'm guessing that maybe it dry rotted and ended up falling off, because some of the newer valve vacuum caps that I've been getting, I'm seeing them dry rot in a couple years. So I removed that port and put in a plug so that that won't happen again. It did sound like this thing had a massive vacuum leak when I started it up, so that would explain a lot of things. So it had a vacuum leak, which would cause this computer to overfuel all the time, which is why all 8 plugs are carbon fouled. Now I didn't have fuel on 1/2. I believe there's 2 injectors in there. I'm not allowed by Holley to open this unit up and repair it for fuel leak hazards. They don't want to be liable for that, so they only allow them to be sent in and repaired in-house. So, new unit it is. I am ready to plug in my O2 sensor, get my wire loomed, see if I can see my numbers on the engine. Figure out what this thing is. 306 cubic inch Bronco Edition crate engine, small block Ford, dressed long block with fuel injection, 365 horsepower, 365 foot-pounds of torque, 9.2 to 1 compression, aluminum heads, roller cam, cast crank, hybrid technique pistons. Motivate ya. My fat thumb doesn't make this easy. 307 it is. Target idle. This has air. Hopefully it has an air input hooked up. Let's do 700 initially. Cam type. 365, we'll say street strip. We are going to need to change the engine oil in this thing because this thing's been grossly overfueling. Well, you guys don't want to sit here watching me play with my phone, so check the fuel leaks. Sounds like I got maybe a collector leaking. Ow. Alignment rack's tied up, so we'll roll this over there in here in a minute. But hey, it's running. That's a good start. Take it out for some drive time and let it learn. I'm a dummy. These are the same 2 plug wires I broke last time taking these off. Ironically. figure out what alternator's on this because it's not charging at all. That'll also make a fuel injection system all sorts of pissed off. This should be an internally regulated unit. Maybe I'll pull this off and see if this needs to be built. That's not good. So my hot wire for my alternator has been arcing out. It actually welded the nut to the stud. Broke the stud when I removed the positive cable. So more than likely maybe this was loose. It caused arcing, which is probably what smoked the ECU. So can't really blame Sniper for that one, guys. You gotta have good powers, good grounds, good consistency. If you're getting voltage spikes from your alternator coming and going, it's going to wreak havoc on your electronics. So let's see if we can figure out what the heck this thing is. No part number. Around here to test. It wasn't working because it's cooked. Well, I'm finishing this guy up. I got a new alternator for it. I tried to change the pulley over, but one of the stainless steel bolts is seized in there. I couldn't get it out, and I don't feel like drilling it. So I'm just going to use the pulley that came on the new alternator. Of course, that means the belt doesn't fit. So I had to get a new belt for it. So now that the new belt's here, I think we're in good shape. I may actually try and rebuild this alternator, but that's not going to happen today. I did order a kit for it. So I'm going to finish putting my alternator together, and then we can take this out, put some miles on it, let the new Sniper unit learn itself. You can see right there where this guy was arcing and burning and trying to start a fire. Ultimately voltage spiking the electrical system, and most likely what took out our Sniper. So gotta be really careful with the electrical systems on these Sniper units. They do not like voltage spikes. Actually, no computers like voltage spikes. Let's see if my alternator alternates. Voltage, our running boards are working. Look at that. That one's working. I fixed something. Voltage. 13.2, I'll take it. Exhaust leak closed up. So I can tighten that up, make it better. Let me do that hot. Probably get out of here. Oh, battery's dead. Dang it. Got an Atlas in it? Man. Pinion angle's horrible. That should be fixed. This is a really nice Bronco. Figured out my AC belt was too loose, so I put a different belt on it. My exhaust leak is because the exhaust isn't bolted up, so it lost a nut somewhere. Loose nut. So we'll fix that real quick. And this thing's ready for a, 2 or 3 hour test drive on an 80-degree day that's slightly overcast. It's a pretty good day for a drive like that. Fluid in the Atlas looks good. Let's tighten this exhaust down. It's a nice truck. I like it. Alright, so it looks like we lost our nuts on both of our collector bolts on this side. I'm going to have to drop this thing down because I can't get my hands on it, but I think I can get a hold of it from in between the body and the frame rail, so we'll give that a shot. Oh, gravity's going to fight me on this one. Oh, wow, that is not easy to get to. Explains why I had an exhaust leak. Doesn't explain why it got quiet after it got warm. That should be better. Let's go for a test drive, see how this thing runs. It runs pretty good. I drove it yesterday, but the belt was squeaking so bad I couldn't keep driving it, but squeaking belts annoy me immensely. Fix the exhaust leak, fix the belts, fix the charging system, fix the fuel system. Fix a few other things. I don't even remember at this point. But it's a far cry better than what it was. So, time to see what the customer wants to do next. We're going to drop it off at the body shop, get the little black eye fixed on the front fender. Pretty cool truck. I like these things. Well, that wraps this one up. Really cool old truck, man. Brought it one step closer to being a reliable, usable driver. Because that's what we do. Sometimes we debug stuff. And this one had some bugs. It worked.
Was it because of the alternator?
Yeah, it didn't have a battery power. So I'll do that here right now, and then I'll do the alignment. And then I'll do the 32. And then I'll do God only knows what else I have to get done today. What time is it now? 1? Well, I have a bunch of other stuff to get done. So, click like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Thanks for coming along for the ride. 35,000 subscribers. Thank you very much for watching the stuff that we do here. Hopefully you learned something from it. Or at least we're moderately entertaining. Thank you again. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.